Seattle fire officials say a late Sunday fire damaged 4 Tesla Cybertrucks. According to Assosicted Press, the 4 Cybertrucks were parked in a Tesla lot in Seattle's industrial district. The fire department says the first call came at 11:13 p.m. Sunday. The fire department says no one was injured and the 4 trucks were the only property damaged. Teslas parked in the same lot were not damaged in the fire. There is a rift in the team of the President of the United States Donald Trump. The head of the new Department of Efficiency, Elon Musk, has had a major row with Secretary of State Marco Rubio. The New York Times reported on the violent altercation. Rubio was furious. Sitting next to the President in the White House Cabinet Room, he was forced to listen to a continuous stream of attacks from the richest man in the world. Musk scolded him for the Secretary of State's failure to reduce his staff, the publication reported. According to him, the conflict between Rubio and Musk had been brewing for a long time. The Secretary of State had a grudge against the billionaire after he closed the Agency for International Development, which was controlled by the U.S. State Department. And at a cabinet meeting, Rubio, in the presence of Trump and about 20 other people, poured out all his grievances. He publicly accused the billionaire of lying. After that, the officials exchanged a portion of barbs. Throughout it all, the president sat back in his chair, arms crossed, as if watching a tennis match. But as the argument dragged on, Trump finally intervened. He sided with Rubio, saying he was doing a great job and was too busy. Trump urged them to work together, the New York Times writes. At the same time, the U.S. leader made it clear that he currently supports Musk's mission. Musk also had a conflict with U.S. Secretary of Transportation Sean Duffy. The latter made claims against the billionaire for trying to fire some of the dispatchers at American airports. The head of DOJ claimed that this was a lie and demanded to name the employees he allegedly fired. The billionaire's overly bold behavior obviously does not please many in Trump's team. Musk has been hit with a wave of criticism, including within the Republican Party. And the U.S. president had to significantly reduce his powers. The DOJ leader can now only provide consultations, and he is no longer allowed to make decisions about dismissing government employees or closing projects. The New York Times notes that Trump's team is afraid of Musk, who wields great power thanks to his money and his social network X. White House Press Secretary Karoline Leavitt would neither confirm nor deny the scandals. She called the meeting wonderful and productive, and insisted that everyone is working as a team. U.S. Republican Senator Lindsey Graham, known for his pro-Trump and pro-Ukrainian views, expressed concern about the possible cessation of intelligence and weapons supplies to Ukraine. In his opinion, the refusal to support Kyiv could lead to catastrophic consequences not only for Ukraine, but also for the U.S. Speaking on Fox News, Graham stressed that leaving Ukraine without support in the midst of hostilities is a strategic mistake. If we cut off support for Ukraine, it will be worse than Afghanistan. I don't think President Trump is really going to do that, but until there is a ceasefire, I would give Ukraine everything they need, intelligence and weapons so they can defend themselves, the senator said. At the time, the withdrawal of American soldiers from Afghanistan in 2021 became a real military disgrace for the United States. Graham spoke out against freezing military aid and stopping the flow of intelligence data to Kiev, stressing that such a step would not bring the end of the war closer, but would only give Russia an advantage. You are not helping anyone in these discussions if you do not provide Ukraine with the weapons it needs to defend itself. You are not helping to end the war if you deny Ukraine intelligence while the fighting continues, he added. U.S. President Donald Trump, commenting on the suspension of military aid, said that Ukraine may not survive in any case. According to him, the freeze on support is aimed at stopping further casualties, since, in his opinion, Kyiv does not want a peaceful settlement. Trump also called on Europe to increase its support for Ukraine, saying that European countries should bear the brunt. Graham's position highlights the split among Republicans on the issue of support for Ukraine, with Trump and his administration signaling a desire to scale back support and politicians like Graham warning of risks to the U.S. and insisting on continued aid. The question remains how far the reduction in military support will go and what role Ukraine's European allies will play in it. Graham said earlier he will be introducing legislation to sanction the hell out of Russia if they don't come to the negotiating table. In terms of Russia, I will be introducing sanctions on their banking sector and on their energy sector next week, urging them to get to the table if they don't engage in ceasefire and peace talks with the administration. We should sanction the hell out of them. And I'll have legislation to do that next week, Graham said.